I'm Paula from Chic Emporium. Today I've got this rather quaint little bureau to do, which is like a writing desk and a cupboard and I don't know what, but I think it's quite cute and quite unusual. Quite looking forward to having a go at making it look cool. So, first things first, I'm going to clean it up because it's quite dusty and dirty. I'm going to use sugar soap wipes to get that job done. Second thing, I have pre-prepared a whole load of resin moulds that I made using this IOD mould here. And this is the kind of format pattern that I was looking for, which I'm going to put on the front of the writing desk. I have chosen a palette of 5 Vintage Rocks colours, and that palette may or may not change as the project progresses. I'm not sure yet. We've got a new technique going on today, so it might require more colours, it might require less, so we'll have to see how that goes, but that's kind of my starting point. And lastly, I thought I'd show you before we crack on. A lot of people have been asking me which glue I use to stick the resins on. This, if you're in the UK, is from Screwfix. It's called No Nonsense. It's a 2-part glue. You buy the 2 together. This one you just dab on what you want to stick, and then this one you spray where you want to stick it and stick it straight on, and it's instant and it lasts and it's not going anywhere, and it's brilliant for cracking on and getting on because you can paint straight on over the top of it straight away. So if an item like this, which is upright, you've got gravity against you, if you stuck it on with wood glue, for example, chances are it might gradually slip down a bit. This will stop all that, so you can just get on with it. So clean up, get my moulds on, start my painting, which is going to be rain cloud all over, and then we'll start playing and show you the fun stuff. Right, so I have spent quite a lot of time beginning the painting process. It's taken 2 or 3 coats, and what's happened is lots of bleeding has started to come through, so I wanted to show you the bleeding because it kind of comes in 2 looks. This should be really much whiter than it is, and it's got quite a yellow but plain sort of solid tinge to it, and then inside it's more bitty and broken up, but you can very clearly see the bleeding. That's bleeding. So no matter how many layers of paint I do at this stage, it's just going to carry on coming through. I might get away with this by putting some different colours on it, but this looks more obvious bleeding, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to use, and I'm showing you these products with this video. This again, if you're in the UK, it is Screwfix No Nonsense Stain Sealer. Really pretty cheap. It's white and it's quick drying, but it's a normal DIY store for anyone else in the country, and all you do is spray it. It's a bit pongy, but look, it's already covering it and it dries pretty quick, and then I shall be able to quickly cover it with another layer of paint, and then it will look much more even. So that's what I'm going to carry on doing. I've obviously got the bottom to finish as well, and then I've got to start on the inside, but I shall come back and show you when I've got through the process. I just wanted to show you this fab product because it allows you to get on pretty quickly. Right, a lot's happened since I was last on video, so I thought I'd catch you up, and then I'm going to show you how I've created this look. So we had some bleeding, we treated the bleeding, and I've then gone on to add with a decorator's knife lots of layers of paint and colours to blend. I showed you at the beginning my palette, and that's slightly changed. I've opened a tin of Colonial Blue, which is Annabelle Duke, and we use that on the inside, and it's very similar to the Rain Cloud, except for it's got a slight blue tinge to it, which I really like. So I'm using that to blend all over the piece. So let me just run through from the top to the bottom. So I've added these little resins moulds that I've made, one each side, and they look really cool. So obviously I've got to paint over those. I've added a hand-drawn kind of angel wings. This is kind of reminding me of a Renaissance period or something, and I kind of like the idea of angel wings, so I'm going to paint those shortly. Obviously we've done all of the painting, and inside is plain. Here I had to take the front off temporarily because there was a wood repair that has needed doing, so I'm in the process of letting that dry off, so that will go back on, and then the bottom has all done. So I've just left this area here to show you how we create this effect. So I'm going to show you what I do. Got this. So I'm going in alternately with different colours and just use the decorating knife really quite randomly, to be honest, to spread up and down to and from. Now this beigey colour that you see is what I started as bare-faced. Just adds a little bit of warmth to it. I have also used some coal and some liquid coal black in places, so I might end up using some of that in this area as well. So it's just about trying to find a palette that all went together. So there we go, so got a bit of that going on. And then my secret weapon, I got an old spray bottle and I've put 2 or 3 teaspoons of whiteout in the bottom and then added about that much water, shaking it up. So you know how I love a mess, and this is very messy. This is the messy bit. You just spray. You could just do this with plain water, but you need to do it while it's wet, while the paint's wet, and let it drip and let it run like that. And some of the backs of this unit we've actually left with just the drips, which I quite like as well, but the front, while it's wet, so it just dilutes and blends the colours, and it's just so simple to do. I don't think you could do this with a brush in the same way. You could do it with a plastic credit card maybe. Didn't have one of these. So this whole piece has been a process of sort of trial and error, colours that go with each other, like this. If I don't like it, I'll add a bit more colour in, and then blasting it with a hairdryer, and then rubbing it back with sandpaper to give the distress look a look. Now that white was obviously very diluted, but I've still got white here. So literally just dipping the end in, so I might want just little areas, little highlights in places. And it's like watching a painting grow really, waiting to see how it looks. So I'm going to complete this all in the way until I'm really happy with the layered look. I've obviously got the front to do as well. I'm going to crack on and finish off that bit at the top and paint that in, and then I'll show you where we've got to. So I'll see you back then. Right, so we're nearly there with this project. I wanted to show you the image that I put at the top of my unit. I printed out and I basically freehanded, but if you can't freehand or you feel that's too hard, this is your other option. So this is what I'm going to do on the flap bit of the unit, and I had to take it off to do repairs, if you remember, so it's quite handy to do it while it's flat on my table. I also printed off this image that I quite liked, and I've scribbled with a pencil on the back, and then I'm going to place it where I want it on my bit of wood, and use a pencil or a pen. Actually I might use a pen, it's got a bit more diggy in-y. Just to mention, before I got to this stage, I finishing creamed the whole of this surface. You don't have to, but by doing so, it makes the image come out much clearer when you do this. So I thought it was worth it. So then you just go over all your lines carefully with a pen or a pencil, and it will transfer your image for you to be able to fill in, paint. If you've used the finishing cream method that I just have, you can even go over all of these lines with a Sharpie pen, which makes it much easier if you're not very good with a small paintbrush. You can fill in as much detail or as little detail as you want to give you just a rough idea for positioning, or to fill in every last detail that you don't think you can do yourself. I don't hold grudge and no real estate. last stage that you saw where I was doing the image transfer, and all I've done is use 3 colours, grey, black and white, to go over all the lines and create the feathered look. I'm not sure if you saw that bit before or not, but again, done exactly the same, used the 3 colours, I've splattered paint at it, I've scraped paint at it in exactly the same way that I showed you, and I've sanded it right back so it looks a bit faded. And then obviously we've dressed it with all our beautiful things. I've very temporarily put this thing together because my husband still needs to fix these fixings, but I wanted to just show you the beautifulness of the finished piece for the sake of this video. So here we go, look at that. There she is. This has taken me a whole week to do. It's not a quick job. Partly because it's a technique I haven't tried before, but partly because it takes time to create the look that you want, and I've gone over and over and over in different colours to get the look that I want. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people think it's a bit messy, I think, but I quite like the old chippy Renaissance look. It goes with what we've dressed it with, it goes with the mouldings that we've used. In the right place, in the right home, it will look absolutely stunning. So I'm really, really chuffed that I've had a go at this, and I'm going to use this technique again. I hope you will too. Thank you for watching, and I hope you love it as much as I do.